Hello, this is the WJTS News. I'm Bill Potter. Kurt Guxell is in soon with sports. Jan Dugan joins us tonight on 18 WJTS Informed to discuss the annual report of Purdue Extension in Dubois County. And she has an invitation to their annual meeting. In the news, a tip of a possible drug activity at a Jasper residence Wednesday afternoon led to the arrest of a Jasper man on various drug-related charges. At 1:30 yesterday afternoon, officers with the Jasper Police Department received word of a possible drug activity occurring at a home located along the 400 block of West 6th Street. An investigation by officers determined that it was highly likely that the residence at the time contained illegal substances. Police learned that 19-year-old Devin Miller lived in an apartment at that location. He was later located at his place of employment in Jasper and detained while police made their investigation continue. Police say Miller denied officials or officers consent to search his residence. As a result, officers requested and were granted a search warrant through the Dubois County Superior Court. The search warrant was executed and resulted in the discovery of 2 grams of marijuana, drug paraphernalia, 72 hypodermic syringes, anabolic steroids, legend drugs, and alcohol. Miller was taken into custody and subsequently transported to the Dubois County Security Center. He is initially charged with a level 6 felony count of possession of hypodermic syringes, anabolic steroids, and a legend drug, as well as misdemeanor counts of illegal possession of marijuana, paraphernalia, and alcohol by a minor. Jasper police were assisted by the Dubois County Sheriff's Department and the Dubois County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. The city of Huntingburg has laid out plans to redesign and revitalize the city's historic 4th Street as part of their Stellar project, connecting the Charles C. Niehaus Memorial Park to the historic business district, the Market Street Park project, and continue east to Van Buren Street. This project will create a flexible street, accommodating sidewalk path and public space. With plans to extend the 8-foot sidewalk along 4th Street by 12-foot, allowing businesses and outdoor area to their establishments while still having enough space for the public to walk along the sidewalks. The design of the street is curbless, making all paving, pedestrian, and vehicle spaces at the same level with planted storm water bumps separating the space. As of right now, ways of businesses receiving deliveries and business parking during construction is being discussed. Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner says the project and its subsequent improvements will provide a better attraction to the 4th Street business district.
Well, the whole concept was part of our overall Stellar project plan. As we began the Stellar process about 3 years ago, one of our targets was enhancement and redevelopment of our downtown. We did a complete study with help from the Office of Community and Rural Affairs on what the needs were in downtown. And this streetscaping was one of the things that came to the forefront from our public hearings. So as the Stellar project developed, we wanted to take 4th Street, which is a very unique space, and enhance it in any way we can. Downtown activity is one of the vital things for rural communities to continue to grow and to attract new people to their community. So we see this as the next investment in 4th Street to bring it to the next level of enhancement, building on the great future, the great past that we've had here. So it's enhancing what we have and bringing in some new elements that will continue to attract people to our 4th Street.
Now, plans for the project will be finalized around September or October of this year. Construction will take place between February and October of 2018, and that has hopes of completion for the 2018 holiday season. Mayor Spinner says the project is estimated to cost around $3 million, which will be shared by the Department of Transportation and money already set aside from the Stellar project. For more information on the Stellar project, visit www.huntingburg-in.gov and click on the Stellar tab. No one was hurt and no charges were filed in a 2-vehicle accident that took place Tuesday morning at the intersection of 6th and Newton Streets near the downtown square in Jasper. Police say just after 11, vehicles driven by 39-year-old Hannah Tin of Huntingburg and 59-year-old Gary Gonerman of Holland were both eastbound on 6th Street in the turning lane waiting to turn northbound onto Newton Street. With Tin following Gonnerman told police the vehicle ahead of him took off and then stopped, so he did the same. Tin told police that she too saw the traffic ahead proceed onto Newton, so she did so as well. Tin, however, did not see Gonnerman's pickup stop in front of her, and her SUV struck the rear of the Gonnerman truck. Damage to Tin's SUV was listed at $1,500, while Gonnerman's pickup sustained also $1,500 in damage. Again, no one was hurt and no charges were filed. The Spencer County Soil and Water Conservation District recently held its 73rd annual meeting at the Spencer County Community Center. The event allowed area farmers a chance to meet for dinner and discuss matters central to their trade, as well as award those who have excelled in the art of sustainable agriculture. Tim Lukey was the Spencer County recipient of the 2016 Conservation Farmer of the Year Award, presented by Burke Sibrel of the Soil and Water District Board of Directors. Lukey, along with his family, farm the same land once worked by his father. In the interest of keeping the family land fruitful for future generations, he has spent the last 8 years working to implement responsible grazing practices, install energy-free watering systems, and diverting runoff from buildings into the watering system for his own operations. Meanwhile, Burke Sibrel was bestowed with the River Friendly Farmer Award. Sibrel was among 54 farmers in Indiana to earn this distinction, owing to his many efforts to ensure his farming operation did not negatively impact local waterways. The Indiana Association of Soil and Water Conservation Districts have issued these awards since 2000. Sibrel is one of 863 farmers to earn this honor since its inception. The Indiana House Ways and Means Committee recently passed legislation proposing long-term road funding solutions for Indiana. Over the next 20 years, Indiana needs, on average, an additional $1.2 billion annually to maintain and improve state roads and bridges. Local governments will also face significant road funding shortfalls over the next decade. District 63 State Representative Mike Brown of Jasper serves on the House Ways and Means Committee. He says House Bill 1002 offers a responsible and data-driven road funding plan that calls for increasing user fees by 10%, or 10 cents that is, per gallon on gasoline. Special fuels such as diesel and motor carrier surcharge taxes to restore buying power lost to inflation. The gasoline tax has not been increased since 2003, and the other fees haven't been increased since 1988. Under this plan, Brown says the average Hoosier motorist would only pay about $4 more per month at the pump. Moving forward, these fuel tax rates will be indexed annually to a combination of inflation and Hoosier income growth, but capped at no more than 1 cent per year. Brown says while Indiana ranks nationally for its business climate, the Hoosier state and local economies greatly depend on the roads and bridges that are in need of repair.
This bill would create long-term and sustainable sources of funding dedicated exclusively to maintaining and improving Indiana's roadways. In my mind, it's critical that lawmakers pass a funding plan that will keep our infrastructure safe and functioning for years to come without saddling future generations with debt.
Under House Bill 1002, the remaining 4.5 cents of the sales tax on gasoline would be shifted immediately from the state's general fund to the state highway fund. Brown says that this helps ensure all taxes paid at the pump are dedicated to funding road and bridge improvements. The bill would also implement a new $15 annual registration fee on all vehicles and a $150 annual fee on all electric vehicles, which do not pay any fuel tax. Brown says these fees would provide an ongoing source of revenue for Indiana's Community Crossings Matching Grant Fund, which provides funding to local road projects. If passed, this bill would also require the Indiana Department of Transportation to study tolling and submit a waiver to the federal government, that is, to allow tolling on existing interstates. House Bill 1002 will now go to the full House for consideration. Employees from Crane Army Ammunition Activity will be exempt from President Donald Trump's federal 90-day hiring freeze. After Trump released his presidential memorandum 2 weeks ago, Crane officials were concerned about the status of some of their employees. The southwestern Indiana facility hires civilian workers on 1 to 3 year contracts. And even if they're keeping the same employees, they're considered new hires when their contracts are renewed. Because of the exemption, more than 90 jobs were spared that were set to expire in January or February. Both of Indiana's U.S. senators have sent letters to the Secretary of Defense asking the term employees be exempt from the order. Democrat Joe Donnelly called the employees vital. In a previous statement, he said that 25% of the conventional munitions in the U.S. military pass through Crane Army ammunition activity. Donnelly says employees whose terms are set to expire after February have not been exempted. However, even before Monday's announcement, the Office of Management and Budget released a memorandum providing guidance on who should be exempt from the order. Term employees were included. Aside from providing ammunition for the Army, Crane Army ammunition activity is one of the 3 largest employers in Martin County. Now stay tuned. Weather, sports, and Inform with Jan Dugan, Extension Educator, are still to come on WJTS News.